What's up, y'all? It's your boy Nico Blunts, and we tuning in right now with Nico Knows Wrestling latest episode. We're gonna be discussing WWE's Backlash 2023 down there from Puerto Rico. It was a fire show. I hope you guys tuned in. If not, you should definitely check that out on the Peacock. Uh, Hope everybody weekend doing good. I've been okay. Took my mom's out for early Mother's Day brunch, so happy Mother's Day. If I don't do another video before next week to all the mothers out there. Uh, yeah, so pretty much let's dive on right into my notes that I took. So first match was for the Raw's Women's Championship. Get the champion Bianca Belair versus Io Sky of Damage Control. Now going into this, to me honestly, I kind of felt like Io didn't really have a chance. Of winning, only because I felt like Bianca was going to be changing brands. She got drafted in the draft to SmackDown, and they drafted Rhea Ripley, the SmackDown champion, to Raw. And so I just assumed they're going to do some type of title swap similar to what they did with Becky Lynch and Charlotte a few years, I don't want to say like about a year ago, 2 years ago. So I didn't really expect that, but I really thought it was going to be a good match. And honestly, I'm going to say it for me, it was match of the night. I loved the crowd's response to Io. I mean, even during her entrance, like they were heavily into Io. I honestly felt like Bianca had to work heel a little bit because everything that she did, every strike that she threw, every time she got in control, the crowd was just pro Io. And I hope the WWE writers are looking at that and seeing that, Io on her own removed from Damage Control, because I already feel like at this point they kind of need to go ahead and break that stable up. They really have done nothing to know. Her and Dakota Kai have had, I think, 2 or 3 women's tag title runs, but besides that, they're just taking so many losses that I think has really killed all their momentum. I mean, even Bayley, she lost like 2 or 3 pay-per-view matches to Bianca in a row. They should have spaced that out. And it kind of ruined all momentum that they had, and they even took the loss at WrestleMania, which was expected. You're going against Trish and leaders, and Becky, the man. So, yeah. But in the match, had a great flow to it. I love that, Bianca really sold really well, I would say, for Io, even though, just physically looking at things, you can tell Io's a little smaller, but, I mean, hey, Io showed up and showed out to me that drop kick she does. It's a beautiful, best springboard drop kick I've ever seen into the ring. The crowd was really hot all the way throughout this match, pretty much all the way throughout the night. It really didn't mean anything. I didn't like the Bayley interference though at the end. I mean, I get what it is, what it's doing by bringing up that storyline that Bayley and Damage Control is kind of holding her back. And to me, that's I think the route that they're gonna go. Because the match was very close. It was a 50-50 match, pretty much all the way through. But overall, I felt it was a great match, and I definitely see Io possibly turning face, uh, because I really think she just has that connection with the crowd. The next match, number 2, was Seth Franklin Rollins, as my boy Brian likes to say, versus that Nigerian giant almost. Um, Coming into this match, it really came into me out of left field. Like, I don't think these guys had any kind of heat prior to this match being booked. They definitely tried to warm it up and make some stuff happen in the weeks leading up to it, which I definitely respect. They tried to heat it up as best as they could on Raw or so. Even Seth even had some stuff with Paul Heyman, which to me could possibly look at another shot at the tribal chief down the future, down the line. But hey, never know. But with this match, I wasn't really a fan of it, not just because of the style difference or anything, because I feel like Seth can make anybody look great, but I just felt like almost is taking a lot of losses, high profile losses at that. And when you're a giant, and you got somebody that physically impressive, there's only so many times they can start to lose before people stop caring. You know, wrestling is already suspending belief and everything. And so, with them continuing to book this guy to take these losses, it's starting to take away any of his shine or luster, anything, that he might have going. And so I think they need to be very careful with his booking going forward. To me, that's just me. No booker or nothing like that, just a guy who loves wrestling all his damn life. But yeah, to me, Seth really made this match work. Almost, to me, looks like he's getting better in the ring. Looks like he's actually trying, and he's working to get better. You can tell. Even the guys as he been in the ring with, a lot of his matches have been better than a lot of people would have expected. And this match, I would throw in that category as well. It's definitely pretty good. The crowd was into it. Crowd, again, really hot crowd. They had this type of crowd at every wrestling show, man. But Seth got the win, of course, after doing about 3 stumps. And that I can say I do like, because even though it almost took the loss, it took him 3 stumps and even 1 stump off the top ropes for him to put almost away. And I say for me, I could definitely respect that, because while he lost in defeat, he still looked strong. And that's the big thing with this guy. You can only have him lose so many times. And even then last night, that was an okay loss. It wasn't just like he got beat off or a roll up or something silly like that. No, he actually took 2 of this guy's finishes, and then he took a supercharged win off the top rope, which looked pretty damn good, I can say that. Shout out to Seth. The next match we had was Zelina versus Rhea Ripley for the SmackDown Women's Championship. Again, because of the draft, in my eyes, I kind of didn't picture Zelina coming out with the win. And also being that Rhea Ripley just won that championship not too long ago from Charlotte Flair. And so to me, seeing who she beat for the belt, I just don't see her, just losing the belt that quickly. And even though we were in Zelina's hometown hometown of Puerto Rico, I just did not see WWE pulling the trigger, making her become a champ. Not saying that she couldn't become a champ in the future, because Zelina could definitely go. Her entrance was fire. Again, nice dedication and tribute to Puerto Rico. Love the outfit. I mean, she really looked at muy caliente. I will say that. Aleister Black is a lucky man. Gotta give him props on that, bro. But yeah, match started. It was a very good match. She did a lot of quick offense. I liked the even aspect of her throwing the slipper at Rhea that she got from her mom. Nice throwback to the cultural background. So I definitely liked how they WWE sprinkled that in. That was real cool. But eventually, Rhea overcame her with her power game. And shortly after, I would say probably about 7 to 10 minutes after the match started, it was over. Rhea Ripley retained. And I think she goes on to now swapping belts with Bianca Belair, where she will now become the Raw Women's Heavyweight Champion. And Bianca will become the SmackDown Women's Heavyweight Champion. So, yeah. I'm anxious to see what's going to go on and who they're going to have compete with her for the belt going forward. But, hey, we'll definitely get to that probably in another future video. The next match, from there, match number 4, was Bad Bunny versus Damian Priest. And I honestly say everybody probably loved Bad Bunny's entrance. I thought it was pretty cool. Liked it how he even gave a little concert. Crowd definitely knew all the words to the song. Made me wish I knew Spanish, because it was a vibe. He had it hype in there, man. He had a real hype. Honestly, I expected him to go over Damian Priest. I really did, because, he's a celebrity. He doesn't wrestle all the time. I just didn't see him taking a loss there. And Damian Priest and him, because of the street fight rules in effect, it looked really good. I will say this, he definitely cares about WWE. He watches the product, and Bad Bunny went out there and really proved himself. It's the second match he's had. He had the first one a couple years ago, the mixed tag match. This one here is a one-on-one. Big shout out to Damian Priest for being such a consummate professional and really making this a good match. I liked the interference from the Judgment Day. because he definitely brought out all the nostalgia of the LWO. You had Ray and Santos come out, and then you also had Carlito Cool, who, man, that was a really throwback. That was a real throwback moment right there. Carlito was definitely a guy I liked it back in the mid 2000s or so. And even now, man, the guy's in phenomenal shape. Like, he came out looking really jacked. I think the crowd really loved that spot. And even Savio Vega coming out, like, yeah, who's not gonna love that? So that was pretty nice there. Uh, yeah, I could definitely say sorry for you on him, yo. It's been a long weekend. But yeah, that was a good match. I definitely liked the throwback and nostalgia effect. Everybody there. I do want to see what they're gonna do with the LWO going forward, since they're gonna be splitting up from the Judgment Day. And we get the match 5 here. Also, I want to say though, I wish Damian Priest had went over, because I just feel like sometimes it really makes the wrestlers look weak when they lose to part-time people like that. They're not even the wrestlers. I mean, I give it to Logan Paul. He's really athletic, but just from the size, looking at it, man, I feel like Damian Priest should have got that win. I'm sorry. I'll be the minority with that. Match number 5, that happened to be the Usos and Solo Sikoa, the Bloodline, day ones, of course, versus the tag team champions, Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens, and Matt Riddle. I always love the Usos' entrance. They get you real hype. Crowd was definitely behind them. But there was definitely some tension between Solo and Jay. And that played a big part of this match, especially towards the finish. I honestly expected Kevin Owens and Sami to come out with the win, just because I felt like it would have continued the story or whatever. And I'm just like, okay, well, I don't really give them too much. And they're the champs. They just won the belts not long ago. However, WWE swerved me and ended up actually having Matt Riddle take the loss solo, after almost coming to blows with Jay multiple times. Even Jay is screaming out, I'm your brother, not him, which I think is really going to, have some wrinkles and add some parts to this feud. Because I don't think Jimmy immediately gets tossed out. I think Jay ends up in another feud with Roman, and eventually Jimmy siding with him, and coming to his defense. And then the bloodline really just boiling down to being Roman and Solo. But I'm really excited to see what's going to go on with the bloodline and with that storyline. I think the WWE got a lot of interest back into the bloodline to see what's going to happen on Friday when the tribal chief shows up, and he's now got to talk to Jay. And I think he's going to get on Jay. And I think he's going to make Jay acknowledge him. And Jay has been having Sami in his head, and Sami's been talking that shit to him to where he's making too much sense. But again, I can't wait till Friday. Can't wait. And finally, we had the main event, which I was really worried about at one point, because they tried to say that the Usos and Solo Sikoa's match was going to be the main event. And I was like, that should not be. Sorry. You have Brock Lesnar on the card. Unless Roman Reigns or somebody else is on the card like that, he's always going to be the main event. I'm sorry. And so once again, Cody, great entrance. Kyle just loves his song, especially when you get that whoa part. I mean, who doesn't love it, right? Who does not love it? I mean, I love that song in AEW because it just really fits his gimmick now. It really does. Comes out, it even gives his weightlifting belt to another kid. I kind of love that spot. Simply because I'm a big Bret Hart guy. And so that was the thing Bret Hart used to always do in the 90s. He takes the sunglasses off, puts it on a little kid in the audience or so. And so to me, that's always a real old school babyface move. I like how when Brock was coming out, Cody just dives right out at him. Boom! Right through the middle rope at his ass. And he's bringing the fight to him. I like that. Hit him with the steel steps, all that before the ref had even rung the bell for the fight to start. And I like that because you and Brock had all this, he really whooped your ass a couple weeks ago when he turned on you. And you guys have had all these close encounters. But as I think back, and I'm sitting there thinking to myself, have we ever gotten Brock on the mic to say why he even did it? And that, to me, I feel like it's just lazy booking. Like, we get all the way 3-4 weeks away. We get 3-4 weeks to the pay-per-view. And we get the pay-per-view match. And we still don't even know why the hell he even laid Cody's out. We never even got an explanation of nothing. You know, Cody's been dragging and carrying this program by himself because Brock isn't always there as a part-timer. But the match definitely was real gritty. It was a fight. Brock ended up getting busted open, banging his head on the exposed turnbuckle. And so I looked up, man, whole crimson mask, face completely red. Cody ended up giving him like 2 crossroads, and Brock still kicked out. I really thought that was 3. And finally, somehow, Brock ends up getting him into the Kimura. And it's looking like Cody might end up tapping, but I just knew that not the American Nightmare is not going to go out like that. Not like that. We got to send the fans home happy. And so the next thing you know, he kind of uses Brock's weight to get him into a position for a pin. And 1, 2, 3 gets the 1, 2, 3 in the middle of the ring on Brock Lesnar. And Brock looks pissed after. But I was glad Cody got the win. That was the right call. Because I really think he needed that win to start getting back some of that momentum he lost from the loss at WrestleMania. I think he really needed that. And now I'm excited to see where his story goes from here. I still think he's probably going to run it back with Brock Lesnar. I know they have the tournament coming up for the WWE World Heavyweight title. I think you got to have Cody involved because why not? Raw is pretty much based around him and Seth Rollins. You know, that's their show. But I think with Cody and a good audible to kind of get him out of winning that belt, so you don't have all the backlash of people saying, oh man, what did Cody do to really deserve it? They just gave him a consolation prize. I think you have Brock Lesnar interfere in Cody's match to prevent him from winning. And so now he's continued to now have that program with Brock, and now he's also out of the World Heavyweight title picture. You know, he's out of that picture. He's not even involved with that, because all he's thinking about is now getting revenge on Brock Lesnar for once again, stepping into his way and being an obstacle. I'm looking forward to that. But you guys take it easy. That was my recap of my thoughts of Backlash. I ain't hold y'all up too long. Y'all take these and y'all be cool.